Hello and welcome to the biology topic digestion, lesson 2, absorption and enzymes. In this lesson we're going to take a look at what absorption is, how the substances that we need in digestion get to where we want them, and also the role of enzymes in this and how an enzyme actually works. Okay, so you've got some images there, all of foods that have nutrients in that we need. Okay, so apple, sugar, milk, it's a good source of calcium, red meat, potatoes and cheese. Now all of those can be broken down and give useful substances that we need in our body. Okay, so absorption is where these large molecules of the food that we take in that are insoluble are broken down so they can pass through the wall of the small intestine. Okay, and that's really, really important. Now, enzymes play a role in this, okay, because they help break the substances down, and they do this in a particular way. And then what happens is once we've got these small soluble molecules, they can then pass through the wall of the small intestine into the blood and be carried to where they're needed. Okay, and where they can also be used. This image here shows the idea of absorption. So at the top we're talking about it being on the inside of the small intestine. Okay, and on the bottom we're talking about the body cells. So you've got a blood vessel there. Okay, and the blood will flow through that, but the small molecules that have been broken down as a result of digestion pass through the gut wall into the blood. Okay, they're then carried in the body before they pass through the wall again into the body cells, which is the green arrow. So the blue arrows are showing you it moving into the blood and to be transported to where it's required, and then the green arrow is showing how those small molecules are moved into the body cells. Okay, now this happens in a villus. Okay, and these are on the inside of the small intestine and they increase the surface area. These have really, really good blood supply, okay, because they need that blood supply to be able to transport everything, and they have a thin layer, so it's represented there as a 1 cell thick epithelial layer. Okay, now villi is the plural, so here's another image. Okay, villi is lots of them. One is known as the villus. All right, the small intestine's covered in millions of these. Okay, as I said, they're only 1 cell thick, so they can absorb those small molecules really quickly. So the shape of them as well will increases the surface area to ensure that absorption happens quickly. So they look like hair-like extensions. Okay, and you want absorption to be happening quickly so that the molecules can be transported to where they're needed. Okay, the blood supply is essential because that is what's carrying it around the body to the organs that's required. A lot of these substances will be required in other processes. For example, if a substance has been broken down into glucose, that glucose is going to need to be transported for respiration, so it will be taken somewhere where respiration can occur. Right, that's the role of the villi in the small intestine. If we now take a look at enzymes, you need to know what an enzyme is. So it's a little bit of chemistry as well, because it's called a catalyst, but because we're talking about it in biology, it's known as a biological catalyst, and a catalyst is something that will speed up a reaction without being used up, so it remains there, can be used over and over again. These enzymes are specific, which means they will only work on one particular molecule. And we're going to look at 3 enzymes that you need to be aware of. Okay, lipase, carbohydrase and protease. We're going to take each one in turn. So lipase enzyme breaks down lipids, more commonly known as fats, into fatty acids and glycerol. So lipase will only break down fat. Won't break down protein, won't break down starch, won't break down other carbohydrates. It will only work on fats. Okay, and when it works on the fats, it will then break it down into fatty acids and glycerol, which are smaller than the original fat, and those molecules can then be absorbed through the process of absorption. Carbohydrates, another enzyme. This will break carbohydrates down into sugars. Again, it wouldn't work on lipids or proteins. It will only work on carbohydrates. And then protease breaks down proteins into amino acids. Now, lipase works on lipids. Try and remember that. And protease works on proteins. Okay, there's a little hint there to help you. Okay, you also need to know where these are all found. A lipase will be found in the small intestine and the pancreas. Okay, an example of carbohydrates is amylase, and it's found in the saliva. It's one of the ones that's produced when you start to chew, and the small intestine and the pancreas. And protease is found in the stomach, the small intestine and the pancreas. If in doubt, and you can't remember all of that, all three of those enzymes are produced in the small intestine and the pancreas. Okay, so remember those two first, and that will really help you with your learning. Okay, we need to take a look at now bacteria and acids. Okay, we have many useful bacteria that we need that can produce hormones, enzymes, and vitamins. Okay, so actually you do want bacteria in your digestive system, specifically in your gut, to help with all of this. However, you don't want harmful bacteria. So we have stomach acid, which is hydrochloric acid, and this will destroy the harmful bacteria so that nothing is spread. Okay, and as a result, the stomach acid will make sure that there's a really low pH for the enzymes to work in, which is the environment that they need. Okay, so you want those useful bacteria in your gut. You have stomach acid, and remember that acids have a low pH, so the enzymes thrive in that, the ones that are present in the stomach, so they need those conditions as well.